All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 500 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football, and we're going to have a pregame show today about basically the game of the year for Georgia Southern. Yeah, I know that we just got finished talking about other games. Let's say the Appalachian State game. We also had the Nebraska game, even the top 25 game when James Madison came to Paulson. But I feel like this is the game of the year for Georgia Southern. This is the game to put a statement on everything that we've done. So hopefully we will leave with another victory, a second Cameilla Bowl trophy, and put this, just put the icing on top of this cake when it comes to this season. So we're going to talk about all of that. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions, and hopefully we'll get this dub and come back to Statesboro with some hardware. If this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And the Cameilla Bowl is here. At 12 p.m., we're going to be playing the Cameilla Bowl against the Buffalo Bulls, Kyle Van Treese's former team. And this should be an exciting one. This should be a great one for the Eagles. This is a game that the Eagles have been pretty much waiting for the past few weeks. After that big win against Appalachian State, there was still more work to be done. And for us to beat Appalachian State to become bowl eligible, it's just going to feel much more sweeter when we do win this game. It's just going to feel great. You know, the whole situation with Georgia State and those guys, you know, they got the best of us again this year, but they're sitting at home and their fans are looking crazy in their wonky looking stadium. We are going bowling. We're in Montgomery, Alabama, and hopefully we have a repeat of last time we were there. 2018, I was there, and me and my wife was there. My son, he was in my wife's belly. He was 8 months. He was 8 months growing by then. Pretty much, almost a month to the day that he was born. We were at the Cameilla Bowl. It was a little bit rainy. It was a little bit windy. My wife was a trooper, and we watched Tyler Bass kick that field goal to win against Eastern Michigan. This go around, I don't care if we win by that same situation or not. It doesn't really matter to me. What I want is a dub. And I think that we're going to be able to win this game pretty handily. So I cannot wait to see how this, plays out. This is going to be awesome. I feel it in my bones. I just feel it in my gut that we're going to walk away with a victory because this game, it means a lot to the seniors, the Justin Ellis's, the Dylan Springers, even Kyle Van Treese. You got a couple other guys that are here and are not that's on the team that are not playing, that are in their final year on the team. It's just going to mean much more because this season was a lot of emotions riding on this season. We got a new coach coming in. We just came off a 3-9 season. We had a lot of question marks going in, and I think with what's going on with this bowl, it's really like the biggest game, not only for them, but pretty much is one of the biggest games for this program because it just tells you what we're going to do going forward when it comes to this program. 3-9 last year, 6-6 this year. We can go 7-6 now with the victory, and it's just going to be great. It's going to be great. So enough of the talk of that. I want to give you a little bit of information, and we'll pretty much close out the show with that. Georgia Southern is 4.5-point favorites, and that's a good time for me to talk about BetUS. BetUS is the affiliate link of this show. If you click that link, put down $100, you'll get 125% bet book bonus. Go ahead and put that in and bet on the Cameilla Bowl. Do we cover? Is the over and under look like it's going to be 67? Total of team, what was going to look like for the betting or the waging odds for this game. It's also other games that are going on. I think they still have some MMA going on, some NFL that's going to be coming up. NBA still going on, MMA. I think I talked about that, esports. All that stuff is going on now. So if you click that link, put in $100, you get 125% bet book bonus. Go ahead and bet on them Eagles. The Eagles, I absolutely believe that they're going to cover and then some and make some money for the new year. What's wrong with that? I'm all here for that. So we're here for that, and hopefully you guys will check that out. 4-point favorites. 4.5 point favorite for Georgia Southern. I think it's really, it really makes a lot of sense with the type of passing game we have. We're averaging 469 passing yards per game. We are 19th in the country. I didn't even know that. No, we average 469 yards in a game per game, which is 19th in the country, but 327 through the air, which you would never think that we'll give up. I mean, we'll put in that much work in the passing game because Georgia Southern is known for 327 yards through the air. I mean, through on the ground. So, with the situation with Buffalo has some guys on defense that's actually, pretty decent. So I feel that we need to be mindful of what they can do. We're going to talk about the cornerback they have, Marcus Fuqua. He leads the nation in 7 interceptions. So we're going to throw the ball. We already know we're going to throw the ball, but we got to watch out for that guy. He already has 7 interceptions. He's going to be trying to look to see if he can get something, in this game. They also have 26 takeaways in the game, the 8th most in the nation, and they have 24 sacks. I don't worry about the sacks too much. I think our offensive line is going to be fine. Not worried about that. But I will say, one thing I will say, the takeaway is going to be a problem. So we have to be really, really careful when it comes to actually throwing the ball. We have to be careful. Kyle Van Treese, I think he's going to be fine for the most part. I don't think their secondary is all that good. But when you have a guy who leads the nation in interceptions, that's something that you're going to be really mindful of. Also, on the offensive side of the ball, they average 143 yards rushing per game. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that's anything because the Georgia Southern, one thing about us, we have not been tackling the best. We've done a little bit better compared to what we were. It's not like the UAB game. My God, the UAB game was pretty tough. Then the South Alabama game. But when it came to Appalachian State, I think we kind of quelled things down a little bit. When the running, it was more like of a passing game type situation. We did get a few stops that were needed in the app game. And I want us to make sure that we tackle. If we can do that, this game's going to be a blowout if we can tackle. Mike Washington of Buffalo has rushed for 606 yards, and we are pretty much one of the worst. 129th in the nation in total yards and yards allowed, rushing yards allowed per game. We allow 240 yards per game. The flip side of that, we can't put up numbers. So this is one thing that we're going to have to do. So with Jalen White, I don't know if him or Gerald Green is going to be playing. Hopefully they will. Jalen White already have almost 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. Gerald Green is about half of that at 475 with 6 touchdowns. So with the running game, you already know what the passing game is going to be like. We're going to pass the ball pretty well, I believe. I don't think, anybody, pretty much in the country right now could really slow down our passing game. I think it was 1 or 2 teams that was able to do so, but I don't think Buffalo's going to be able to do it. We are right now, like I said, 327 yards through the air, 25 touchdowns. We score almost 34 points a game, and Buffalo only scores 29 per contest. So this is something that we need to exploit. Just start running the score up on them, and the defense stops when need be. We should be fine. We should be okay. I feel like we're going to win this game probably by 2. Maybe 2 scores, whether it be 10 to 14 points. I can see that. I don't see Buffalo really doing something that makes a huge difference to the point where we're going to be in a really big situation where it could be a fight. I really believe that Buffalo is going to have a little bit of problems with us because I just feel that Buffalo is just not the team that can really keep up with Georgia Southern. Is one of those teams that actually, they did okay for the season, but when I look at who they played, and they played in the MAC, which is a pretty decent, conference for what it's worth, I just don't think that what we have up against, or like what we have on offense, I think it may be a little bit too much for them, and I see us probably, winning this game on a fairly, respectable note. That's just my personal opinion. If not, we'll be back to talk about it. I'll be at work by the time the game is going, so I won't be really talking too much as far as doing a show or whatever the case may be, but I will definitely give you some commentary when it's time. I'm just looking at some of the games before I get out of here. Buffalo had a little bit of problems with Coastal. That was a Sun Belt team that they played. So they lost that game to 38-26. And looking at some other games, they look like they played pretty good against some of the competition that they had. They lost to Ohio. They lost to Central Michigan. They beat Akron by 1. But I just don't see anything that stands out, any of the players that really stand out. We talked about the cornerback, but everybody else that I've seen on the team, even their former quarterback that they have, is just not much that I really see. I mean, Cole Snyder, he's thrown for 27-65. He has 17 touchdowns. He also has 4 rushing touchdowns, so that's something we need to watch out. He could probably move on us too. But I just feel like toe-to-toe, when it goes for score, I just don't see Buffalo actually, pulling away and winning this game. I see Georgia Southern probably going to be hyped up enough and focused enough to go ahead and win this game. And it just goes one more time. One more thing I want to say before I get out of here. Georgia Southern fan base travels very well. And I saw some of the pictures on Twitter of what Georgia Southern fan base look like. It looks like it's going to be a packed house full of Eagles. And this is what we need. We need those guys to pack that stadium, similar like how we did when we was down there in 2018, and actually show what these Eagles can do, the Eagle fan base can do, and let them know that we have their back, and we're going to be supporting them all the way through. So I just can't wait to see how this plays out. A little bit cause of concern as more as I go through the game, because I don't want to be too hyped, but I do feel like Georgia Southern should be able to take this game and have a commanding victory here. That's just what I believe. So hopefully we'll figure that out, and we'll be back to talk about a victory, bringing that trophy back home, and it's just going to be a great time to put a nice cap on the season, put icing on that cake, put the bow on the top on a pretty decent season, to be honest. We beat Nebraska, we beat a top 25 team, and we beat Appalachian State. I mean, in dramatic fashion. You would love to see us win this game, and just put the icing on the cake, put the bow on the top. It'll just be awesome. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think, man. It is going to be a amazing time to watch these guys go and compete against these Buffalo Bulls. Kyle Van Treese is playing up against his former team, and it's just going to be great. I just can't wait to see what we're going to do here. So I'm going to get up out of here. Let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. You guys take it easy, and you guys be blessed. Peace.